So, guys, I just did a interview with Kira, one of our students inside my program, and I did an interview actually with her previously, okay, about 2 months since I'm recording this video, about 2 months ago. And we did this as an update, but we did it live within my program, within the community, so that we could have people attend live, watch it live, and ask questions live to Kira. So, getting feedback on specific problems that they're having and just specific insights that they wanted to get from her. So, I'm going to roll that for you now here in a moment. This was a very relaxed, we didn't go into her like full story because we've done a previous interview. It's very much just like really understanding what has changed in her business since going from kind of like a freelancer making 2 grand a month, just traveling through Asia after she quit her job as a teacher in Ireland, to now where she's in Ireland doing about 6 figures per year, and she's about to move to Dubai very soon. So hopefully you enjoy, take a look, and if you have any feedback, let me know. All right, guys. Well, welcome in, guys, to the interview. Some of you may have seen, I actually did an interview with Kira before. Okay, we did an interview, I think probably 2 months ago now, maybe 2.5. And that was when, I remember, Kira, you hit 8.5K a month. I know in that you mentioned that you were on track for 10K a month, which I think was in the month afterwards. So I guess for people that have seen that, has much changed for you in the business since the interview, or are things relatively similar?
Relatively similar. I'm still sitting around the 8K a month mark. A big client who was paying me 2.5K.
Mm-hmm.
The owner of that actually had like an accident, so that was gone for a month there.
Mm-hmm.
They should be back in order come September time, so that's fine. But in the meantime, it was a blessing in disguise because I have like a lot of big retainers. But I felt like there was something stopping me. Like I had a system that was scalable, but it wasn't where I wanted it to be. So actually, that client that dropped off at like 2K, but they are coming back around.
Mm-hmm.
I've basically reset all my systems, and now I'm in a position where I'm doing like just from last week, like five sales calls a week, um,
Nice.
and that was my max capacity. I know I
Mm-hmm.
can take on more. Like I have leads coming in daily, um, and I'm setting up cold calling systems and that type of thing. So like in the grand scheme of things, that 2K is nothing because each of these clients that I'm taking on now will be around a 1K retainer.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and I'm estimating like if I get 3 to 5 of them a month out of even 50 leads, it's good going. So yeah, that's kind of been the switch up. But other than that, yeah, it's a lot of the same clients, but some new clients as well, and new things coming on board. But yeah, big changes, but really stressful at the start. But now it's for the
Yeah.
best.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. And like with this interview here, I have a few points that I really want to kind of go into with you just to get your thoughts on. And, we're going to have a mix of people on here. We've got some people just starting off, like literally the first time they're looking, getting, let's say, their first client. And then we've people that have probably been in the game for, a good few months, a year or two as well. So hoping we can try and pick on a few different areas that hopefully give
Yeah,
as much value as we can. The first thing I wanted to look at was, I know you just mentioned there just before we kicked off with summer that things have actually been quite busy for you. Would love your thoughts just overall on that. Because like what we typically find is there's kind of a slowdown and an increase all at once. Okay, like
yeah,
you've got certain clients dropping off because of summer, but then you've other clients picking up because of summer. And so no industry is the same. And you're going to have that slight fluctuation. But just curious to see how you found it with clients and if there's any kind of trends, I guess, between the clients that are sticking around or those signing up and then those that are leaving or pausing for the summer months.
yeah. So what I've actually found I have a good client base now. So any of the ones that were already with me have just stayed with me for summer. Contact is minimal. They're just paying the retainer
Mm-hmm.
and they're on holidays doing their own thing. But like I've signed, I think four over the last say 6 weeks, four new clients. So it literally just depends. Some businesses are like really keen to get started now for summer, especially if they're kind of in that startup kind of phase. And I feel like the more maybe substantial businesses that are in the game maybe 20, 30 years, they kind of chill out for summer. But then you've either super keen or super chill. But there's definitely a strong mix of both. Like yeah, I'm literally finding like high onboarding, but the contact with my current
Mm-hmm.
clients is like minimal now.
Yeah, super interesting because that's typically what we found, with summer months when clients do stick around is contact is lower. Their input overall is just lower. And it's more just, keep the retainer running, keep the work going and see where things bring us by the end of summer. a lot of people are kind of checked out mentally for a few
Yeah,
months at least. So yeah, that's interesting. And then I guess yeah, you've obviously got the big move coming to Dubai pretty soon. So
yeah.
I'd love to kind of give people context as to, I guess, yeah, what you've done so far. Because obviously I know you've been in Bali, you've been in Thailand, you've been in Ireland, and then soon to be Dubai. So you've essentially run your business in Europe, you've run it in Asia, and you're going to run it now in the Middle East. What was kind of, I guess, the whole process behind each of the moves, and how do you feel like that has evolved for you? Let's say going from your first 1 or 2K a month, wanting to just kind of travel and do this on the side, to now where things are obviously at a higher level, and you're probably thinking more, maybe more long term, right, as to where the business is going to go.
Yeah, for sure. So I suppose at the start, the only reason I started the business was to travel. So
Hmm.
like I just didn't care. I didn't I actually used to say like I don't want to scale. Like I was
Yeah.
like, I don't want to scale. I just want to sit at like 2K a month
Hmm.
and just like live my life.
Love
But then I
it.
suppose
Yeah.
when you're yeah, and then when you're out traveling, you're like, oh, money actually goes by pretty fast.
Yeah.
So you're like, I actually need to earn more to keep this lifestyle up.
Hmm.
So yeah, for ages I sat at like the 3K a month mark. I just didn't want to scale. I had no desire to scale. Like I was living a good life. Like I wasn't like financially free, but like I
Hmm.
was living
Hmm.
like a really good life. And then I suppose I came home. I did like 2 years of traveling. I came home just to get a bit of normality. And then I think being in Ireland, everyone's working, there's nothing else to do. So then I was like, I want to build up the business again. But now moving abroad, I am business focused. It is more
Hmm.
so for business rather than obviously I want to have a good time as well, but it's not
Hmm.
as
Hmm.
I want to be partying every night. Like
Yeah.
um yeah, so it's like different goals, but like out of Ireland.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. And
Yeah.
obviously, look, you're going to a place where you're going to save money on taxes. Okay. So you're going to immediately make more money from just being somewhere else. So that's obviously going to be pretty nice. And obviously, look, lifestyle. Yeah, there's going to be some good lifestyle benefits as well. I know a lot of people when they move to Dubai, there's kind of that, I guess, that push and that pull of like, there's so much to do. You could do something every night for 4 years straight. You'd never get bored. But obviously, then yeah, it takes your focus away from business or whatever else you're focused on. So it'll be interesting to see how it goes because yeah, you hear crazy stories, and then you see people where they just kind of do a balance of the two and they make it work pretty well.
Yeah, exactly. And I do kind of want to go back to Asia now for a little while as well. So like I'm
Cool.
might do a bit of both.
Nice.
Um
Yeah.
yeah. So yeah, they're very opposite places, obviously.
For
Like
sure. For sure. Yeah. And I've seen that to be a trend where you'll have somebody based in Dubai, maybe 6 months, maybe 7 months a year, but then they're escaping the summer and a few other months going to Bali, places like
yeah,
that. Bit more relaxed lifestyle then as well.
yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's good to have the
Cool.
options, obviously.
Nice. Yeah, yeah. And let's say we're going to Bali, Thailand, like the lower cost countries when you first started. Obviously, as you said, the motive there was just like make enough to live, be comfortable, and that was that. You didn't need to make more. For
Yeah.
somebody that's hearing that, going, that sounds unreal. Like I want to do that as well. What do they actually need to make? Like how much does that person need to make? Let's just say in profit for them to have that lifestyle that you had.
Yeah. Like I was probably doing around 2K. I probably wouldn't recommend less than that just
Hmm.
for your own self.
Yeah.
2.5K, you're comfortable. Like, do you
Hmm.
know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
I didn't have it consistent when I went over. Do you know, like 1 month I honestly could have been on 2K, the next month I could have been on a grand. So you
Yeah.
can't
Yeah. Yeah.
really get work, but like if I was to do it again, I would have 2K consistent, 2.5K and be saving a bit and like not living on the like, not blowing at all and then
For sure.
scrambling
Yeah.
for clients.
Yeah.
But it's good learning. Like it got me over the fear of sales calls because I was like, I
Hmm.
actually need this client. Like
Yeah.
is it needs to sign like
For sure. Sometimes
yeah,
that desperation works, right? Because you're at the other side of the world, you just have to make the money, or else you're going home. So
yeah.
yeah,
Or you
you
get the flight
perform on a
home.
different level. That's true. That's true. Just get deported or something. Only option
Yeah,
left. Interesting
yeah,
though. So 2.5, that would be safe, comfortable. Is there
yeah.
anything else from that time I guess like that, I guess you would give us the blueprints of like how many hours were you working per day? Did you just work in the mornings and then just, enjoy the rest of your days? Like how did you structure things to be able to have the lifestyle, not work all the time, but still obviously make enough to be
Yeah.
okay?
We see out there is so chill. Like if your clients are Europe time zone, like it's literally no one's awake till like 2 o'clock in the day. So
Fair.
like you
Yeah.
get up, do your bits, like with breakfast with everyone, like and then go to like there's loads of co-working spaces. You go in there and
Mm,
everyone's working online, and then you could have like beers in the middle of the day. Like I was probably working around five hours a day. That was always the goal,
okay.
5 hours a day. And earn 2K a month. That was like my goal. Well,
Yeah.
before I moved and like pretty solid on that. I would just try have maybe 4 or 5 clients and then go.
Nice. Nice. Yeah, no, solid. And like, I think I remember correctly, like back then you were doing everything yourself, right? Like you didn't have like any team members. It was just you, right?
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah. Okay. Interesting. I guess let's say for you now, where like you've obviously worked with people, you've had contractors involved. Looking back, let's say you wanted to have that 2.5 a month again in Bali, have that lifestyle. How little do you think you could work if you had obviously, let's say maybe a graphic designer, video editor, the team members that you feel will be necessary, where your profit is still high. You still do work, obviously, but you're not just you, right? Like you've got a few of
yeah,
those key people to help you out. Just for again, for that person who's thinking, how much can I get away with essentially? How little can I do if I structure things, with a team? What
yeah.
would you
But
say that
times
could
was
be?
yeah, times was I didn't have Chat GPT when I was living out there. You know what I mean?
Fair.
So
Yeah.
all content calendars have been done manually. So like that was taking hours. You could
Mm-hmm.
genuinely
Mm-hmm.
earn. You could earn if you could have five clients now, hire a VA to do the posting, a graphic designer, and you could probably get away with 2 3 hours a day.
Love it.
Like if you're just
Love
like
it.
ChatGPT has changed everything. Like it's
Yeah.
crazy. Like I remember I used to have to proofread the calendars for hours,
Yeah.
even spell check, and then everything. It used to take so long. So yeah, it's so different now.
100%, 100%. And yeah, it's a good reminder for people. Same for me starting. Like content calendars used to not take too much time, but just so much mental effort and mental
Yeah,
energy to sit down and plan it out. And then you do that for 5, 10 clients. You're pretty tired after doing it. But that is the
yeah,
beauty, guys. Use AI, right? It's obviously going to
yeah.
save you guys a ton of time. So obviously lean into
Crazy.
it.
Yeah, like you could do a content calendar now in 2 hours, like
Yeah,
12, 15 posts, easy, and have your
easy
video there doing all the reels. Like,
for sure.
yeah,
Yeah, game changer when you use it right. So
crazy.
anybody that's watching this, if you haven't watched the AI course that you all have access to, go and watch it because I know I can see the stats. Not that many people have logged into it. Okay, so go ahead and watch it. Apart from that, Kira, I'd love again. I want to focus in on just kind of that beginner segments of someone who's getting started first. So like for you looking back, I remember from our previous interview, like you took the kind of bold leap of you were a teacher in Ireland, decided I have to do this thing and I'm going to travel and do it. And you pretty much just quit from there. Like you had that kind of certainty to be able to
Yeah,
just fucking close it off and just
yeah,
go for it. For the person that's, let's say, going to do it where they're going to keep the job, they're going to build this thing up, they're going to get it to, let's say, 2.5 a month. And then when they get to that point, then they're going to jump ship and they're going to put off the job and then do this full time. What would be, I guess, just some of those lessons and things that you wish that you knew when you were starting that you feel would now just fast track that person if they have obviously the discipline to show up every day, that consistency and everything else they need. But what would be kind of that blueprint that you'd focus on?
yeah. Well, I suppose I would like. I think if you had 3 months savings there, you
Mm-hmm.
honestly could just quit you could, it depends obviously if you can
Mm-hmm.
eat the market you're in, but if you have 3 months savings there, you've enough built up and then you could actually go full time into the business then
Fair.
after you build up
Yeah.
the skill set.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I think that's a massive thing. Like, and it's not that hard to build savings across a year. Like, for
Yeah.
most people, a year is a decent amount of time. And then I suppose hiring help, like, from early enough days.
Mm-hmm.
But things are very different now with AI. Like if you could just get into the habit of the main thing is outreach to clients. Like I think that was something I was so afraid to do. Like I used to
Mm-hmm.
hate pitching to people and thinking that I didn't know anything what I was doing. I'm like I didn't know what I was doing. Like I look back at some of the things and I'm like, oh my
Mm-hmm.
god, what was I at? Like, but you don't know what you're doing, but neither does the person you're probably selling to. So
Mm-hmm.
I just think if you can just pitch to as many people as you can, get in the right rooms, tell people what you're doing if that's an option for you. I think you learn everything else as it comes. I think everyone focuses too much on how to deliver and how to do this, that, and the other. If you just get out there, that's the main thing. And you just learn. It's like any job. You start any job, you don't know what you're at. You're trying to ask someone who's sounding it's like what to do.
Definitely. So like you were saying there, you'd actually focus more on just the selling, right? Like just pitch more people, do more outreach. Obviously, it's the scary thing. And that's why most people spend more time on, I need to learn the skills first, because then you feel more confident if you have the skills. But that's interesting because I would do the same for sure. And it's that same piece of advice you just gave is what most people say that are doing pretty well is they say, hey, I wish I would have just kind of believed in myself a little bit more and just gone for it more at the start, because you are going to figure out the skills. You are going to get good at service delivery. When there's money coming in, you're not just going to get the money from a client and do nothing. If you do that, there's something very wrong with how you're approaching business, you're going to get that money and go, holy shit, I need to deliver, this money is coming in. I need to step up and do this. But I would agree for sure. So again, good reminder for people, like lean into getting the clients. Okay. Obviously do what you got to do to give yourself the skills and that proof and that bit of confidence to go and actually pitch, but don't spend weeks and months just perfecting your portfolio and whatever else, right? Before you get out there.
Yeah, exactly. And like nowadays you could literally be on a sales call, that client asks you something, you type it in the chat GPT and it'll give you the answer. Do you know what I mean? Like it's not like you actually have to know everything at all these days. Like you ask ChatGPT anything, it'll tell you. Like put it into the group chat. Like you just figure it out. No one's gonna die if you don't deliver. Like I think that's something I was so apprehensive at the start. I thought everyone was gonna hate me if something went wrong. But like at the end of the day, like no one's dying. Like if you mess up something, post it wrong, no one's dead. Like
no, exactly. You're gonna learn from it right away. I remember, geez, one of my first clients, this was when I was doing some freelancing. I was doing email marketing for this one specific client, and I completely fucked up a launch email. I put the wrong date in, scheduled it at the complete wrong time, and the launch post goes out before it was meant to go out. And for probably 30 seconds, I was like, oh my God, I just made the biggest mistake ever. And then I had a call with them and everything was fine. They were like, right, it's an issue, it's an error. We obviously didn't want it to happen. Let's just make sure it doesn't happen again. It was like, right, nobody died. Everything was actually okay, No,
honestly. And no matter what stage, like even now I'd make a mistake and I'd be like, oh my God, in my head about it. And I'll have a call with the client and they'll be like, yeah, like it's grand. And it's like, we just think that these things are way more, we're a fraction in their life. Like we're not.
Yeah. You're not everything. Exactly. No. Exactly. Something I wanted to touch on here was at the Villa events that we did. I remember somebody in the room was talking about, how am I getting clients when I don't have a portfolio? I'm fresh, new at this. I don't have the proof. How am I getting clients? And I remember you and also Sean and James were talking about how, at the beginning, it really wasn't about the portfolio. There wasn't, like Sean and James mentioned how first few clients never asked for any proof, never asked for any results. And again, I would be curious on, again, how you would approach that starting fresh if you were, because for, again, the beginner who's starting this, that's one of the biggest worries is, okay, Kira, like you're saying, nobody's going to die and I should pitch people, but I don't have the proof. I don't have the portfolio. What am I going to do? How is anyone ever going to believe me? Again, just I obviously know your thoughts on it, but just for people here, what are your kind of thoughts on that if you were starting again?
If I was starting again, I would literally hire a graphic designer and a video editor, get them to do some videos, some posts, put it into your portfolio and pitch to clients with that.
Boom. Like, love it.
Like you don't actually have to know, like if you're going to, no one's expecting you to do it from scratch. And they're not going to know any different. You're paying the freelancer to do it. You can hire them for the projects. That's the work that's going to be completed and sent to the client. If you hire that freelancer, it's like, what is the difference?
Yeah, 100% love it.
Yeah, just literally nothing.
It's so simple, like you said, and I think it's more of a mindset shift of just believing that that's actually possible. Like that is literally what you can do. You can find one editor, one designer, get a few pieces made, and then happy days. Go from there. That's your portfolio. Run with it. Just go from there.
And you're not lying, because if that client hires you to do their content, that's the content they're going to get, because you're probably going to
Literally.
hire
Yeah,
that. You're not lying.
exactly. Yeah. 100%. And I
Yeah,
think that's the disconnect, because people hear that and they go, oh, that's unethical. It's like, it's actually more ethical, because you're going to bloody get the client and then outsource to that editor anyway.
yeah, and so
It
way
actually
better.
makes more sense.
Yeah, way better than what you can do, what anyone
Yeah,
here can probably do. Like,
for sure. For sure. Cool. A good one. Just wanted to touch on that for people again, because I know that's a big, big worry. Another thing I remember from the event, you were talking about a client you had. I think you had them for at least a year at that point, where you were just managing the social media, and the growth wasn't crazy, in the year time span. It's not like
yeah,
they got thousands and thousands of followers. It was slow and steady, a little bit of growth, nothing crazy. And I remember you were saying how, like, at one point you were incredibly, almost fearful of, oh my God, they're going to leave. The results are not too great, as we all would, because we start to then doubt, are we good at this? Whereas I
yeah,
remember you mentioned that the client framed it that they run ads, and from the ads, they're kind of directing people back to the Instagram as the proof, as the portfolio of the work that they do. So even though you might have been getting them 10K followers a month, the fact that you were making the page look good, consistently updating good content on the page, and everything looked very professional, very timely, and just very active, they were happy. Like, that to them was what they actually needed. And I just wanted to bring that up for people. And again, I'd love your thoughts on it, because we get so caught up in that as well, thinking,
yeah,
okay, this first client of mine, if I don't get them 5K followers, they're going to leave. They're going to be super unhappy. They're going to ask for their money back. It's just not the truth for most clients. Most will be happy with a lot less than what you're expecting.
yeah. No, 100%. And like, I think it's just really important to set the expectations at the start with your clients, is like that followers don't equal sales. Like, yeah, for example, I've got a client there and we weren't growing any followers, but every call, the business owner was like to me, yeah, I'm super happy. Like, we're getting out
Mm-hmm.
there, brand awareness. And I was like, great. But now I'm like, that is what it is. Like, I do run ads and things like that as well. But like, it's just clear, once you set that expectation that it's brand awareness, and social media isn't like direct lead generation,
Mm-hmm.
it's brand awareness, then, and you're gonna have clients have some, if a client is nitpicking everything and they're complaining, most likely it's probably not you, they're just like that as a person.
For sure.
Yeah,
Definitely.
so
Definitely.
yeah, yeah, and it is so important. Like, even I started with a client there recently. I'm doing everything for them, like SEO ads. But they actually said to me on the call, like, they're not getting they're getting direct money from the sales from Google ads, but not from
Mm-hmm.
social media. But they actually said, I thought they were going to give out on the call. They actually said to me on the call, they were like, everyone's saying to us about our social media, and that's
There
what's
we
actually got
go.
us our jobs across the line, is
Love
their
it.
social media. So it's still as relevant as ever, if not the most relevant it's ever been.
100%. 100%. Yeah. And I think it's just so good to hear that, even for me hearing it, because like we get the question all the time from someone that's got their first or second client, and that worry is so strong. That
Oh
worry
yeah.
is so strong.
Oh, yeah.
Oh
But
man, like,
like,
it's not working. I'm getting 1,000 views, 2,000 views on videos. And like, yes, of course, some clients will want more than that. And that's the case. Okay. But most will probably be pretty happy with that and be like,
yeah,
whoa, this is way more than we ever did ourselves. Okay.
yeah,
So I think our barometer is way off for success, because we're looking at people online that are getting millions of views, and we're
yeah,
thinking we have to get that. Whereas they may have a team of like 10 people running their social media, getting the millions of views. We're not doing that. You know what I mean? That's a whole different level. We're just
yeah.
working with companies that need somebody to do it. Very
Yeah,
different ball game, really.
yeah. And some companies, you're not going to get that. Like, if you're just posting for a local cafe, that local cafe isn't going to get millions of views, most likely,
Mm-hmm.
because it's a local audience.
Yeah,
It's not an international audience. So like,
for sure.
yeah, 100%.
Yeah, love it, love it. And Kira, I see we've got actually a good few questions already in the chat from people. So I'll run through some of those for you in a sec here. Just before we do, for the people that say already have clients, maybe they've got a couple, maybe they've got 4 or 5, but they're not at the point you're at, and they want to know how to scale to there. Would be very curious to know what would be, I guess, just the lessons that you would have taken from that period of time when you were doing around that 2K a month. It was very much all you. It was a kind of lifestyle business that paid the bills, gave you the freedom, to now where it's a lot bigger, makes a lot more money, and you're also in the mindset of trying to scale things up. What was, I guess, I know the motive was just to make more money and have more of that kind of financial freedom, but what were, I guess, the steps that you had to take to go from 2.5K a month lifestyle business to now basically 6 figures a year pretty consistently, and probably going to scale quite far beyond that as well?
Yeah. I think the biggest thing for me was before I used to have to prepare for like 1 to 2 days mentally before I'd hop on a sales call.
Mm.
Whereas I just started talking to people that I'd meet. I started ringing companies, did a bit of cold calling. That's so hard for the soul, like, but it's so good for your growth. Like, it's
For
so humbling,
sure.
but it's like it's so good. And now, like, if sometimes a client might ring me, like the blue, which I don't recommend people do that. But
Mm-hmm.
sometimes it's easier for me to actually just answer like a 2 minute phone call than send an email. But like
Mm-hmm.
before, I'd be panicking if they ring me. Now I got way better at talking to people, and that was just from pure practice. That's the only thing that
Nice.
changed. I think like anything else I've started doing, I've outsourced. I have somebody hired
Mm-hmm.
to do it
Mm-hmm.
that I actually don't know how. The only thing I got better at was sales. That was the only thing.
Solid, solid. So yeah, sales, communication. I guess a lot of that though, as well as you said there, is just putting yourself through the painful experience
Yeah.
to then just get comfortable with it. And now you've got that confidence where people on the call might see you even talking now and be like, they probably couldn't have even imagined you not being that confident. You know what I
Mm,
mean? But obviously you have to go through it. And but then also hiring. So I guess it was kind of like the internal work of confidence, but then also the external of just hire people, delegate, and build out the team as well.
yeah, and like some days, like even now, if I have to pick up the call and kind of give a semi cold call, like I'll always feel a small, tiny
Of
piece of
course,
nerves.
yeah,
Like, it doesn't ever leave. Like, you always just
yeah.
in your head think they're gonna bite down the phone again, but usually it's fine. So
Mm-hmm.
it's not that's so normal. Like if you're absolutely like so scared before the call, like that's just human
Yeah,
nature.
it's normal, normal,
Yeah.
100%. All right, well, Kira, I'm going to jump into the questions. We got one from James, which was, when you were starting off, what percentage of clients asked you for a portfolio?
Honestly, probably for I'd say I didn't get asked. Even now, I'd say maybe 5 to 10 people over the last 4 years have asked me for a portfolio. But
So
what
interesting.
yeah, but what I do now is to stop them asking me is in my proposal to them, I'll just attach a couple of graphics or
Love
a
it.
link to a video, some results. I'll just give it to them before they ask. So it's like really contained and then
Mm-hmm.
no one ever asks. I've never been asked for more work. The only work I've ever been asked for is websites. And even at that, some
Mm-hmm.
people have literally paid me over the phone and never seen one piece of work that I've done. Um, which
Love
is
it.
crazy. Like, but it's really common.
Yeah, yeah, love it, love it. And James, just to give you some extra thoughts on that, man. Again, as I said, there was an event we did like here with that, and two guys, Sean and James, talked on this as well. Like I don't know, maybe it's changed now, but at the time they were like they've never been asked for their portfolio. And you might hear that and go, okay, well then maybe I'm unlucky because maybe you're speaking to clients that are asking for the portfolio. The difference there, in the same way that Kira's done it, is they're doing what we call pre-objection handling. So, like Kira said, instead of waiting for them to go, hey, who have you done this for? Show me what you've done. Show me your portfolio. She's putting in the proof where she can, like she's adding in samples here and there. Or if she's on a call, she might be mentioning, oh, I did it for this business, and we did this style of website or whatever, right? That's all pre-objection handling. Because if you do that consistently enough, like that person's then not going to think, show me your portfolio, because
Mm.
they've already basically gotten your portfolio through what you've said and what you've shown them. Another example of this I can give you, James, is this is something I do in the program where when somebody wants to work with us, we have a video. Not everybody watches it, but a good few people watch it. And it's a list of the most common objections we get about the program. And it's a 30-minute video. And some people will watch that and it pretty much leaves them going, cool, I have literally no questions. I have no doubts. Like it's answered everything. Right. And that's obviously designed, like that video is designed with the most common objections in mind so that we can, again, pre objection handle. So instead of somebody going, let's say, for example, how much time do I need to do this each day? We can have that, within that video, giving real life examples of this person who works 2 hours a day, this person who works 3 hours a day. And so then somebody might still ask, but in their mind, it's kind of solved the objection beforehand. So hopefully that helps. And again, man, yeah, if you're finding that you're actually getting asked this, it's definitely then worth looking at your outreach and your sales approach to see, are we just not are we not providing it enough upfront? That's probably why they're left still feeling that they need to ask that question.
Yeah, and just have a portfolio there ready to go. Like that's just
Mm-hmm.
the easiest thing. You could literally send it in 5 minutes if they ask for the like now if somebody asks me to see my portfolio, it's not even a second thought because I just send it over. I have it there ready to go. Just get some good videos, good picture, good graphics, and just have it there. And if someone asks,
Mm-hmm.
it's not even an objection in your mind.
Yeah.
Yeah, you have it there, send it over, and just make it really good.
Well, yeah, 100%. And with that as well, then, Kira, would you have ever added to your portfolio? So, for example, one thing for me, I remember first portfolio and like my case study was super basic, very bare bones. But then anytime I'd get asked questions of, show me more content for this industry, this niche, we would just go and get those pieces made, add it to the portfolio. So it might start off as 2 pages and eventually it's 10, because we've just bulked it up with any of the extra things people would ask for.
Yeah, exactly. Like always just updating it. Yeah, exactly. Once someone mentions something, just put it in. Or if I get a different type of client, I'll just add it in and it'll just build up as time goes on.
Yeah, 100%. Love that. And got a good one here for Matthew, which is how did you get your first clients? And was there one like set strategy or how did that look?
Yeah. So first one was actually just a local business. I literally remember I made my Instagram page and I blocked everyone I knew off it.
Ah,
Um, I did it wrong. Like I didn't end up blocking I thought I'd like block like my mother or like someone like that, and someone shared the post and I nearly died. Like I actually nearly died. I thought I'd blocked everyone local. Um, but from that, then a local business like reached out to me, and then I didn't know what I was doing. But that client is still with me now 4 years later.
ah,
So yeah, local business. I think people really shy away from that, but like it's your inner network is such an easy sell. But then I got one randomly in England just from like a Facebook group, and we never even had a Zoom call. So I think it's just a numbers game, really. Like the more people you talk to, it's just because like it's just logic. Like if you talk to 100 people, you'll probably at the beginning
mhm.
at 100 you'll definitely get one. Yeah,
For sure. And then how has that changed then to now, Kira? Like, let's say 4 years, you've probably signed dozens of clients, at this point. Have so you had local biz, which was kind of just organic through your network, through someone sharing it, which is
yeah,
love that by the way. And then you had Facebook group. What other methods have you used to get your clients?
yeah. I still use Instagram DM. I like that. Upwork is still really good. And then a lot of it now is I run like my own ads or cold calling.
Mm-hmm. Cool.
But yeah, if I was starting, it'd be Upwork, 100%
Mm-hmm.
Upwork or Instagram DMs to local businesses, like from your own personal account. Be like, hey, this is what I'm doing. I actually know a local girl here that has done the same.
Mm-hmm.
And she's flying, like she's loads of local clients. Just from literally reaching out.
Love it. Love it. I think the fear is the big thing there for me included. When I started, I didn't want to do local for the reason of, they'll know me and what if I do a bad job and this and that. But
Yeah,
like that was just pure fear. It really was.
yeah. Especially now, I just think we probably did have reason to fear years ago because like if you had a
Hmm.
question, you actually know where to go. Whereas literally
Yeah.
ChatGPT
We have the
will
advantage.
answer all your problems. Like it's
100%.
mad, yeah.
100%. It's a different time. And again, guys, I want to stress that for you because obviously, if you're starting now, you only know what it's like to start now. So you don't know what it was like, say, 4 years ago when Kira was starting for me back in 2019. But it was a different game, like a different game where there was still a lot of education we had to give to business owners on why they should spend money on social media. Like
Yeah,
now, that problem is pretty much solved for every business. They get it. They know it's important. They know it has to be done. They have to spend money on it. But we had a different struggle. We didn't have
yeah,
AI and we had to explain why social media would even work in the first place. So we really are in like the golden age of this. Who knows?
yeah,
It could get better, but I know we're in a pretty good spot right now.
yeah, 100%. And even if you are open to doing local businesses, like if I was starting now and I was open to that, I'd probably pop into a few local businesses and offer to do like a free content shoot for an hour
Mm-hmm,
for them.
mm-hmm.
And it just something even free like that just gets you in the door, and that takes up no time, like an hour to go and take pictures on your iPhone and like make a couple of reels and send it over. It just, if you are up for the local network, it doesn't even have to be super local. You can go 1 hour away, so it's not like your local village. But yeah, if you don't want to do that, Upwork or direct outreach.
Love it. Nice. Cahill asked, do you reckon you should hire a content creator or video editor before setting up on Upwork for the portfolio, or just crack on with the account setup?
Yeah.
Curious what you think.
I would say obviously set up the account, but hire someone to do 10 reels, 10 graphics, put that into your portfolio, link it to your Upwork profile. I'll just have that.
Agreed. Like it's the kind of thing that we've seen some people in the program spend a month doing, and we've seen others do it in 2 days. Like it shouldn't take that much time.
No.
And like Kira was saying there, like you can hire someone and just pay them to create like exactly what you want. Some people don't even do that, and they'll just, like we kind of talk about in the program, they'll just get that portfolio that the person has, obviously with their approval, and they won't even pay them to do any work, and they'll just use what they currently have. And then once you have a paying client, if you want them to do more work, of course, you could build out the portfolio a bit more. So like, if it's the money factor for anybody, don't let the money hold you back. Like do that way of, get in contact with somebody that's willing to lend their portfolio to you. But, you can get it done in 2 days. You know what I mean? It shouldn't take too much time. But it is the kind of thing that you could say, hey, I need to get the best of the best. And you're going to, it's going to take you time, right? But if you just get something, work with that. And this would be how I would do it. Get a portfolio, even if it's a 5 out of 10, start with that. And as you're applying to Upwork jobs, still go and look for that better video editor or designer. And then you get a different guy and he gives you a 7 out of 10. And so you're kind of leveling it up, but you're not letting it hold you back from just, getting those reps in and getting the Upwork proposal sent out.
Yeah, 100%.
Cool. So he was 2 questions. So he said, what is the outreach method you're using versus what were you using, when you first started, which we've kind of touched on that, I guess, already. So like you said, Kira, mainly now it's still a bit of Instagram DMs, a little bit of Upwork, and then some Facebook ads and cold calls. But when you started, it was, mainly Instagram, a little bit of local networks, Facebook group.
Yeah, it was mostly Instagram DMs and local network really.
Cool.
Yeah.
Cool. Nice. And then so he actually asked for like the average time frame that clients stay with you. I know you said one of your clients, the first client, still with you. So 4 years, pretty fucking good to be fair. Congrats. What's the average?
To be honest, a lot of my clients that have with me long term now most of them are over a year, 2 years. So like I have other ones there that are with me 3-4 years as well. And then I have new clients. I don't know how long they're going to stay. It just depends. I always find it depends if it's like a brand new business and they don't really have their profit going, and they're like, you're a huge expense to them. Like they're probably not going to stay. But if they're an established business, like 500 a month is nothing to a lot of businesses. So like they don't, like literally nothing. So I think. I think it's just mainly the communication. Like I always would say in good communication with the clients. I don't keep things super formal. I think that's helped me build up a relationship with them over the years. So that's
just from knowing how you've worked with clients, Kira. That's definitely one of the biggest takeaways I've seen is the communication. Like you're on it, like you're not letting anything go too long without an answer. Like you said, if a client's calling you, like, you'll just pick it up and get back to them right away. So that goes a long way. It takes obviously more probably time and a bit of mental energy, but obviously you see the payback of that of like a client staying for 4 years. They don't stay for 4 years if they're not happy, like that's all the proof you need.
Yeah. And I know if I was super rigid with him for some things, like the odd time he'd ask me for an extra post, something like that. And because it was so long, I'll do it. Whereas if I was like really rigid, I'm like, that post is extra. Or like, you have to have your boundaries, but like to a certain extent, do you know what I mean? If someone's with you 4 years, you do bend a little bit towards what they're looking for because they're loyal. And like, if I wasn't like that, it takes up more energy for me to reply to people like that. but I'd be on far more sales calls if I
For
wasn't like that.
sure. For
So
sure.
it's like
Yeah, that's the thing.
pros and cons.
Definitely, definitely. As they say, look, it's a lot cheaper and a lot easier to keep a client than get a new client. It's the reality.
Yeah, yeah. 100%.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. So yeah, hopefully see that's answered those for you. If anything else, obviously let us know. And then Anthony asked, what's the split of Irish versus international clients?
Yeah. So honestly, at the moment, probably 80% is are Irish.
Mm-hmm.
Moving away from that now, I've a lot of UK clients in the mix of signing on. And I'm going to try to stick to UK, Irish. USA, I feel like anyone from the USA I've worked with has been a dream.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
Nice.
so I would only for I have this mental block around the time difference. I would probably aim for USA. I think that it's way more
Mm-hmm.
chill. Obviously, that's a complete generalization, but like
Mm-hmm.
I think you have to keep them sweet less in a way. Like I don't know, like with Irish, you really have to kind of
Yeah.
like like I don't know how to describe it. Like saying they're good books in a way. Like it's all very like how they feel about you if they keep paying you. Whereas US love Irish, like
Yeah. Couldn't agree
yeah,
more because most of my clients were US. So I could see
yeah,
it from the opposite
easy,
perspective.
yeah,
Like
yeah,
any client we had that would want a discount or
yeah.
extra little
Irish,
deals, Irish, typically Irish,
always Irish,
always.
always. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
So it's a different environment, it's a different business environment. The Irish business environment still has a bit of way to go,
yeah. 100%.
for the pro business approach and the pro investing in your business, growing your business, hiring help, it's a little bit behind still on that. So
Yeah,
yeah, it's
yeah.
interesting you found that. But they're loyal, they're loyal. So
Loyal, that's the
mm,
thing. Like, yeah, 100%. And I think I'm very used to dealing with like a lot of my businesses now are like builders, home improvement.
mhm.
So I'm really used to dealing with them. And like that type of business owner,
Yeah,
they're like unique in their own way. Like
for sure.
that's just like my own niche now nearly, like is those guys.
Yeah, yeah. It's interesting to say that here because Megan, who is in the UK, we did an interview with her last year, and yeah, she's found the same. She's working mainly just with construction companies in the UK, I think in our local area, and yeah, it's funny because she was a teacher as well. So there's got to be something there. Female teacher, construction
Yeah,
companies. There's some magic sauce going on.
yeah. I just feel like I feel like they don't want to give out to me ever because like it's that dynamic or something. I don't know.
Yeah, yeah, nice. We've got one more, which is from Maliki asking, do you have a niche or is it just kind of general clients? I know you mentioned it there, so a lot of like builders, home improvement. Is there any
Yeah.
clients, I guess, outside of that or?
Yeah, there are like I target only home improvement now.
Mhm,
But then again, I could get like a random ones there. Like I have the pub, I have the butcher, I have like a restaurant, like a property company. Like
mhm,
I've really random ones that came through different kind of methods, but for direct
mhm.
outreach, or calling businesses, I'll only do home improvement. But
Nice.
that's my niche down in the last year, really.
Mhm,
Um, before that, I wouldn't niche like I'm only niche now because my main service is quite a niche service.
mhm.
Whereas if I for social media, I wouldn't niche really. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I wouldn't. I take on with yeah, I take on with anyone who had the money really.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. Like that's the thing, I started with a niche, as a lot of you probably know, and that really, I think, helped me. But on the flip of that, when we just look at the stats of people in the program, like probably 80% of people, if not more, who are at 5, 10K a month don't have a niche,
Yeah.
So it's not needed. It's really not. And just, the start is just getting who's going to pay you. Who's going to
Yeah.
pay
No,
you, get your
literally.
experience, go from there.
Yeah, yeah.
Solid, solid. And we got some good feedback here. Sahib said these calls are amazing. So appreciate
There
you
you
coming
go.
on. Appreciate you spending the time with us. Yeah, guys, if you have any other feedback, definitely let us know. Be great to hear if this was helpful. Obviously you can thank Kira as well for taking the time and actually hopping on, giving the sauce and giving the insights. And yeah, if you have any other follow-up questions, of course, you can text it over to me in Telegram and I can maybe ask Kira if she's not too busy. So keep us posted there. And
Or just you can me directly if they want on Telegram any questions.
perfect,
Yeah.
perfect, ideal, ideal. And I guess, Kira, there was something I wanted to bring up. You posted into the group you were actually looking to hire somebody for a position. Just if you want to
Yeah.
bring that up while we're here on the call, just for people that might be interested in that as well.
Yeah, so it's like for a sales position. So basically I
Hmm.
get a lot of like warm leads. So it's leads that are interested in an offer that I'm running for Facebook ads. It's basically just it's like appointment setting, but it's over the phone.
Hmm. Hmm.
So it's just calling them up and getting them to book in a time on the calendar with me for a Zoom. It's not there's no higher resistance to it. Like it's like a basically like a free trial.
Nice.
So it's not overly complicated, but it's good to get if someone is looking for sales experience. It's good to get a couple hours locked in.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's not like they're going to tell you they've already filled out the form. It's they're getting a free something for free. They're not going to tell you to f off on the call most likely. Like so,
Yeah.
it's a good way to build it up.
Definitely. And if they do, it's character building. You're gonna get
Yeah,
your confidence up pretty
yeah,
quickly.
for sure, for sure.
Cool. Cool. Nice one. Well, guys, just message Kira directly. I tagged her in Telegram earlier anyway. So just message her directly if you have any interest in that. Um, just to give insights on that, I started 2019 and it was late 2019 for my agency. And when I was doing a bit of freelance work earlier on in the year, there was actually a fitness coach I was doing exactly that for. He basically would just post Instagram stories, tell people to fill out a form if they wanted to work with him, and then I would call those people. I would do it over Skype because they were mainly in the US, but like such good experience. It wasn't something I wanted to do for years, or be my lifetime career, but I did it for a few months, learned a shitload. And I think the main thing, as Kira said, is it's the confidence. Like
Yeah,
really is the confidence you get from it. So yeah, definitely if you're interested in it, reach out to her.
exactly. Yeah, Telegram
Cool.
wherever.
Nice one. Nice one. Well, Kira, appreciate you coming on. Um, yeah, good luck with the new clients that are coming on board. I know you said there's a few that might be coming on in the next couple of weeks. So keep us posted with that. And if there's anything we can help with, obviously let us know.
Yeah, for sure. Enjoy your travels and
Thank
thanks
you.
for listening.
Spot on. Spot on. I'll send in the recording if you want to check it out as well. And yeah, guys, appreciate you all hopping on and asking some good questions too.
Cool. Okay,
All right.
bye.
Cool. Have a good one.
Bye.
Adios. Bye bye.
Thank you.